Hiya, Helen and Julia. Welcome to Manchester Film Festival.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So, have you been to Manchester before?
Yeah, I'm from Liverpool, so
Brilliant.
I've been a few times.
That's perfect. So, did you catch any of the football matches recently?
Oh, I'm an Evertonian, so I'm trying to avoid talking about football wherever possible. It's too depressing.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, just a few simple questions for you guys. So, how would you describe your film in a sentence?
Ooh. A mother's fever dream.
Yeah, that's good. Wow.
That's a phrase.
Yeah.
Nice. So, the two of you, you directed together in this film, right? Yeah. So, how did that work out? Because usually, as far as I'm aware, there's only one director. So, how did you guys work that out?
I mean, quite a few. There's quite a few directing duos out there in the world. Often they're men, and often they're siblings, like the most famous ones. But I think we
Divided and conquered.
Yeah, and we brought different skill sets. This was our first short directing, and you had a theatre background and have acted, so you were more confident than I was, I think, like in terms of getting the performances, whereas I'm from a film background who made features, and so that was kind of all very normal to me. So I guess we just brought different things together, and then every step of the way we were always on the same page.
Yeah.
About what we wanted. So
I think that's, if you want to co-direct with someone, you just have to find someone who you have the same taste as, and we found that all the way through it. And also because we co-wrote and co-directed, so from the beginning we knew what we wanted it to be, and we were on the same page before we got to set. We think there should be more collaborators.
Yeah.
That isn't it?
No.
Yeah. So, as creatives, has there ever been, or can you remember a time when you've had like a creative block, and how you overcame that? Or did you have one on this film?
Not on this film. I think it kind of like felt something like we had to make, something that we had to do. But I mean, there's always times when you have a block. I think that's when you have to like step away and go do something else, which is quite easy when you have kids, because you have to go and like do something else.
Yeah, I think up until having kids, I was a procrastinator, so I'd get over my block by having a deadline, but then as soon as you have children, you start to appreciate the time when you can be creative.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think having other projects to go between is really helpful.
Yeah, variety of different, and wearing different hats, working in different mediums.
Yeah.
That means that you're always kind of fresh to come back to the thing that you're working on.
You can procrastinate from one thing by procrastinating on another.
Yeah.
Good ways, yeah. So, speaking of creativity, do you feel like there's already a lot out there, and then we're just kind of repeating things, or how do you get your fresh ideas from?
I think there's probably no such thing as a totally original idea, but every person is original, and everybody has a different story and a different viewpoint that they're bringing to it.
Well, because even if you have the same script, like different people directing it would interpret it in completely different ways, or different actors would interpret it in different ways, and
I think finding people that you're excited to work with, and thinking about what makes you angry, I think is always a good way of finding a way
what feels kind of urgent and compelling about the thing, because like every idea will start with a kind of seed of something, and then you're like finding your way through it and expanding on it, and like you say, each collaborator, each creative part of the team, whether it's your DP or your composer or like whatever, they're always adding another layer to it. So I think it's about finding the team that excites you and gets excited by your project.
So, generally, how much of your vision do you allow space for, improvisation versus, sticking to the script? Like, how does that work with you, or how did you approach that on this film, at least?
With the child actors, with Otto. So he's my son, actually. He's in the film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
We just let him do what he wanted, but we sort of like ushered him into the right spaces, or doing the right, being in the right area for that bit of the story, and then we kind of were led by him, or Callie, the actress, would lead him. Whereas Lexi, the little girl,
It's the most professional
Yeah, she
actress
was
we've
so-
ever met.
She's
Out of all actresses.
really got it together.
she got her lines easily.
Hit her marks.
Yeah, and then to be honest, on this one there wasn't much improvisation from the adult actors because it's quite a pacey at 13 minutes. Like it had to kind of all line up and work, and even the choreography, like that was
Yeah.
mapped out. But
But we had rehearsal before we got onto set, so anything that didn't work for the actors, we were tweaking then and sort of responding to any ideas at that point.
yeah,
But I think improvisation is always useful as long as it's not self-indulgent. And
Yeah.
none of our actors were self-indulgent.
no, and it depends on the like when you're having a more comedy moment, that's when it's sort of like maybe you play more, or if it's just something that you've got to like hit a horror beat or a drama beat, it's sometimes
Yeah.
easier not to. Also depends how much time you have. We didn't have much time.
Yeah, we filmed in
3 days.
3 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
I can imagine you really got a plan before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It must have been really crazy because as far as I've heard, there's a lot of kids on this film. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
we-
imagine wrangling all of them.
40
Extras.
extras. It was a big day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we basically threw a kids' party
Yeah.
and
Okay.
shot it. So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that actually for your first.
Yeah, it was a baptism of
Added-
fire.
Yeah. Added stresses, but yeah, it worked out.
But, yeah.
Wow. Goodness. I have heard that there might be some good songs in there that we can look forward to.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we were like,
We had a great music
Yeah.
supervisor.
Phil helped us get the tracks, which we weren't sure we would be able
Yeah.
to use.
They were
So-
our first choices from the beginning.
yeah.
And we somehow got them.
Yeah.
So I do have, this is really kind of creating more questions in my head, but I think I should probably save them for the post-screening.
Okay.
Before we heard any spoilers.
Yeah, fair.
So
Thank
Lovely.
you.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing the film.
Thank you.